For months, his name has flashed outside the headquarters of the Washington Post, reminding passers-by that for more than 400 days, one of their own, newspaper reporter Jason Rezaian, has been held in captivity. His foreign editor says Rezaian's time in prison has been difficult.
Jason's been isolated for much of the time that he's been in custody. He's spent a lot of these months in solitary confinement. He's had really very little contact with the outside world.
Rezaian was arrested along with his journalist wife and 2 photojournalists in July 2014. All were eventually released except for Rezaian, who was charged with espionage and tried in secret inside this Tehran Revolutionary Court. His family has always maintained Rezaian is innocent.
Since he was a little boy, my son loved Iran. His love for Iran is so infectious that he has made a career of sharing its beauty with others.
Rezaian was born in California and holds dual Iranian and United States citizenship. He joined the Washington Post as its Tehran correspondent in 2012. The newspaper has worked for months for his release, even appealing to a United Nations Human Rights panel for help. At a black-tie dinner in Washington, the President of the United States even spoke about Rezaian's imprisonment.
Jason has been imprisoned in Tehran for nothing more than writing about the hopes and the fears of the Iranian people.
There was hope with negotiations with world powers to limit Iran's nuclear program that Rezaian and 2 others held in Iran would be freed as part of that deal. But the White House has maintained the issues are separate. The agreement was signed without their release. Rezaian's time behind bars has been troubling for the Washington Post foreign editor. He says the increasing trend of locking up journalists is alarming.
We're used to the threat from armies and from wars. What we've seen in the last couple of years, though, is just as troubling. It's that governments seem to be arresting and holding journalists for the crime of doing nothing more than acting as journalists.
And paying a substantial price for attempting to tell the stories governments often don't want to be told. Kimberly Helkett, Al Jazeera, Washington.